So we're now joined from Cairo by international affairs researcher Hany El Gamal. Thank you very much for being here with us on Q News. So what are the legalities of Israel's plan to reoccupy Gaza and displace residents? Surely this can't be legal.
My greetings to you and to your audience. I think what Israeli government is a new breach to international law and UN Charter by occupying Gaza and threatening the countries. It's known that Oslo Agreement confirmed Palestinian borders on the West Bank and Gaza. Therefore, it was the borders established on the Palestinian state without a ratification from Israel to have extended occupation, in which breaches the international law and UN Charter. Moreover, it also displaces Palestinians from the north to the south, which makes a crisis to the neighborhood countries, which is the Egyptian borders. Also, the agreement among Egypt, Palestine, and Israel. Now, Palestine is on the borders of Egypt, so Israel's existence on the border of Philadelphia and Philadelphia crossing is a breach to the sovereignty of countries and escalated the crisis to displace more than 1.5 million to the Palestinians to the south, meaning that Israel is taking over about 70% of Palestinian lands and relocating their army by extending and escalating occupation and operations against them, which escalates the tension not only in the Arab world but in the international community, whether by Britain, by the UK and France, which confirmed that this is a kind of mass murder and stepping over the negotiation path by Egypt and Qatar and the US as well. So this stubbornness confirms the systematic oppression from Netanyahu in order to expand Israel and confirming their plan. And this dream that started to progress with the settlements built on ground and an attempt to push the GHF to turn from the north to the south on 3 sites. It will increase to 16 sites, meaning that there will be 16 risky, life-threatening sites, because the suspicious GHF turned to a snappering method, meaning that Israel agrees on expanding the sites.
Well, let me just ask you about that, Hany El Gamal, because Egypt has, of course, firmly rejected any thought of Palestinian displacement. Does this influence the region, and how about the international community?
Egypt from the first instance, but after what happened the 7th of October, Egypt used the harsh diplomacy to reject completely Israel's occupation to Philadelphia corridor, which is a breach to the agreement with Egypt. And also Egypt gathered in one of more statement and also called many world countries to reform the voting system inside Security Council and expanded it, which we witnessed. Egypt was gathering and votes against any vetoes that hindered the agreement And what we saw from the recognition, expanding recognition around the world, confirms that what Egypt is doing is an urging diplomatic path, has a welcome among country words to country, the world countries to vote for the against the systematic oppression of Israel. So Egypt managed through this diplomatic role to make an isolation, whether to the U.S. or Israel. This is what we witnessed when Europe adjusted non-export, non-import methodology from any settlements. And also, according to the article number 2 of the UN international law, if Israel breached any law, there will be pending or halting to any agreement, which makes a great isolation, which the oppression, which the opposition in Israel talked about, that will make a crisis inside Israel by first of all, by recruiting many army that refuse.
Okay, yes, I think we get what you're saying there, Hany El Gamal there from Cairo, international affairs researcher. Thank you very much for joining us here on Q News.